Hello guys, welcome to my channel SkyHub. So today at day 3, we stabilize connection between our primary server and Mongoose MongoDB Atlas. Next, we will build our secure user schema with avatar and forgot password using email. So next, move to the VS Code. Let's start. So first, open your VS Code and open your folder. I renamed it as a LeetCode. Then select folder. Open your terminal. So now we have to create two files, one for a backend and another for a front end. So we have two options. Like here, we simply create new folder and named it as backend. Our another option is using terminal. So we have a command make directory mkdir, and it is followed by the directory name, for example front end. So front end is created. In backend, we want to initialize our npm. So for this, we have to change our directory from LeetCode to backend. So for this, we have a command cd change directory backend. Now we are in backend. So we have to initialize npm. So type npm init. So package name same as backend, press enter. Version enter, description entry point index.js, text command leave it, git repository leave it, keyword as it is, author as it, license as it is, type common.js and press OK or yes. So you can see that our package.json is created. And if you want to skip these questions and remains it as it is, then you can add a flag -y or yes. You can also use -y only. Now our npm, we have to initialize our npm in our backend folder. So basically npm stores library of packages like express.js, react.js, etc. तो एक्सप्रेस का कोड पहले से लिखा हुआ है और वो पूरे कोड का पैकेज कहाँ से मिलेगा? सो वो नोड पैकेज मैनेजर से मिलेगा. तो हम लोग पहले npm init तो npm इनिशियलाइज करेंगे हमारे फोल्डर में, देन वहां से हम लोग express.js का सारे डिपेंडेंसी और मॉड्यूल लेकर आएंगे. So basically if you get an error in VS Code like npm ps1 cannot be loaded because running script is disabled or this system, so open your PowerShell as an administrator and type a command get execution policy. it returns unrestricted. If it is restricted, then you have to type one another command, which is set-executionpolicy unrestricted. Now press enter and your restricted will change to unrestricted. Now you again type npm init -y. Then this time it will run successfully. So basically express.js provides a powerful routing system, allowing developer to easily define how an application responds to different HTTP methods like get, post, put, delete. It provides middleware supports. So type command npm I express. So now two folder is created. One is node module and one file is package-lock.json and it is package.json. So first, node modules contains all of the libraries of packages like express.js, react.js. All of these modules are present in node module. Package.json lists our project metadata like name, version. Like here there is dependency express whose version is 5.1.0. Our main entry point is index.js. So it lists dependencies with version ranges. It defines a script like start, build, test. Whereas package-lock.json is generated automatically by npm. It lists the exact version of every package installed. It ensures consistent installs across all team members. So be sure you never edit this file manually. So node module is the folder where all our project's dependencies live. So every dependencies have their own node module, you can say it. So we will never commit this to Git. Always add it to your .git ignore file. We always delete it and run npm install to get it back. So basically when we have package.json, so here all the dependencies are mentioned. So we don't need node modules. If we have package.json, then we type a command npm install. So it will automatically fetch all the dependencies and created a node modules. So moving further, let's understand the HTTP status codes. So HTTP status codes are 3-digit number sent by a web server to a browser to indicate the result of a request such as success, failure or need for redirection. So it is of 5 classes. First, 1XX. It is basically informational request received. Continuing process. 2XX represents success. The action was successfully received, understood and accepted. 3XX, it indicates redirection. Further action must be taken to complete the request. 4XX, it is client error. The request contains bad syntax or cannot be fulfilled. 5XX, it is server error, where the server failed to fulfill a valid request. So some status code of 1XX is 100, 101 for switching protocol, 200 for OK, 201 created, 204 no content, 301 moved permanently, 302 found, 304 not modified, 400 bad request, 401 unauthorized, 403 forbidden, 404 not found, 429 too many requests. So for 5XX there is 500 for internal server error, 502 for bad gateway, 503 for service unavailable. So basically we send data to the server as a JSON format, JavaScript object notation. It is a lightweight format for storing and transporting data. It is language independent. Search. It stores key value pair. So you can see that this is basically in JSON format, where name is Richard, age is 33, hobbies biking, gaming, squash, city, Portland. So basically here name is key and its value is Richard. Name, its key is age and 33 is value. Let's know about JavaScript naming convention. So JavaScript, so basically JavaScript uses camel case naming convention, where the first is small and second word letter is capital. For example, here my variable, where m is small and variable is capital. So second word is capital. First name f is small and is capital. So this is camel case. So next we have to create a source folder, where there are many folders like config, controllers, middleware, models, routes, utils, index.js. For this type command mkdir src. So inside source folder, we have to create index.js, which is our entry point. So inside source folder, we have to create a index.js file. Let's create it. Index, which is our entry point. So in index.js, we have to set up our server. So for this, we have to require Express. So basically, this line imports the Express.js module from node modules, and here the require function is used to load the module from node module, and the resulting object is stored in the Express constant. So basically, the require function is used to load the Express module from node modules, and it will then stored in the Express const. So next we have to initialize our Express application. So for this, we have a function called Express function, which returns an object. So here Express function is called, and it to initialize our Express application, and it returns an object which is stored in the app const. So now go to our Google Chrome and let's see our npm express package for more details. So in Google, search npm express, then this page will be open. Here is the command to install an express in our application. So just copy it and paste it in the terminal. So here are some functions to set up our server. So it is considered that Express is listened on port 3000. So app.listen port 3000. We can simply type npm I express or npm install express. Both works same. So here is to install dependencies. We type npm install. To start the server, we type npm install. But for this, we have to set up start script in our package.json. http localhost port 3000. That's it. Let's go to our VS Code. So now we have to call a function app.listen. So this command, it starts the web server. So it takes two arguments. First port, second callback function. So our port is 3000. But it is wrong method to implicitly expose our port as 3000. So another method, another secure method is that we have to use .env file. So go to our backend here. Let's go to our Google Chrome. Here is .env npm i.env. Let's copy it. So create a .env file in the root of your project. So to secure our secret key, port, bucket name, we use .env file, and we never commit it in our GitHub repository. We put this file in our .gitignore folder. Our MongoDB connection string is also inside our .env file. Let's go to VS Code. To type npm i.env. In package.json, you can see that .env dependencies are installed and its version is 17.2.3. So now in backend, we have to create a .env file. Here we store our port. Each port is equal to 3000, and then we have to require .env.config. So it basically loads our environment variable. So for using it, we type process.env.keyname, where key is port and its value is 3000. So here we replace it by process.env dot its keyname, which port. So now we are console a message as server listening at port process.env.port is 3000. So for starting our server, we type node and entry point name. So basically entry point is in our source folder. So first source slash index.js. So our server is listening at port number 3000. So to verify it, let's go to our Google Chrome. Here you type localhost colon 3000. Here you can see cannot get. So our server is running smoothly. So to run our entry point index.js, we have another module named as nodemon. So basically the difference between node and nodemon is that does not reflects the changes in real time, but nodemon reflects the changes in real time. For example, let's say I make a silly mistake like I delete process. So here there is a error, but node does not catch it in real time. We have to stop the server first, then we have to run the server again, then it catches that it is a reference error, env is not defined. Okay, but in nodemon we don't have to stop the server and then again start the server. It automatically fetches all the changes in real time. So for this we have command nodemon index.j. nodemon src index.js. So here our nodemon is started, but app is crashed because there is a error. So we change it in real time process.env. So here automatically our nodemon server is restarting and our server is listening at port number 3000 in real time. That's the difference between node and nodemon. So we see in Express there is a command of npm start. So for using this we have to go to package.json and in script we have to add start. Here its value is nodemon src slash index.js. So now we don't need to type nodemon src slash index.js. Instead we can only type app start. So this time I use app start. Sorry, not app start, it is npm start. Our nodemon is starting and our server is listening at port number 3000. Next, we have to connect our server to MongoDB database. For this, we have to install Mongoose. First, terminate our server, then type command npm I mongoose. Now go to Google Chrome and search npm mongoose. So here is Mongoose is a MongoDB object modeling tool designed to work in an asynchronous environment. Mongoose supports Node.js and Deno Alpha. So here is the command to install Mongoose, which is npm I mongoose. Here is the required function. Here it demonstrates how to import Mongoose, like const mongoose is equal to require Mongoose, import Mongoose from Mongoose. So you can check these documents to summarize Mongoose. Here is how we create schema in Mongoose. Let's go to our Visual Studio Code. So go to package.json. Here we can see that Mongoose is added in our dependencies whose version is 9.0.0. So now we have to make connection from our primary server to MongoDB for interaction. So we need configuration. For this, we have to make a folder inside source whose name is config, and inside config have a file that's dbconnection.js. So first we have to require Mongoose, const Mongoose equal to required Mongoose. So we create a main function and inside main function use mongoose.connect function, connect our primary server to MongoDB Atlas to MongoDB Compass. Let's build a sync Wait. Dot connect. Here we have to give our cluster connection string. So for this, we have to open MongoDB Compass. So here we have our LeetCode cluster. So now let's connect it. So it is successfully connected to our MongoDB Atlas. If you want to know how it will connect, then you must have to watch our day 1 lecture, where I explain how to connect our MongoDB Atlas to MongoDB Compass. If the error occur, then how to solve it. Now here we have copy connection string. So let's copy it. Let's move back to our VS Code. Now again we put our connection string in .env folder. So after slash we have to give our database name. So at that time we give it as a LeetCode database. So now whenever the connection is stabilized with our primary server and LeetCode, then the LeetCode database is created here. This is admin database, this is local database, then same LeetCode database is created here. Now go to dvconnection.js. Here we mention it as process.env. Now the connection is stabilized. Next we have to export our module, so it will be used in our index.js. For this, module.export equal to main. Here have to require our main. So const main equal to required So here in first line we import Mongoose library and stores it on Mongoose const Mongoose. Then we make a asynchronous function called as main. This async keyword is necessary because the function will contain an operation which is mongoose.connect that returns a promise and must be await till end till it returns a promise. So basically await pause the execution of the main function until the promise returned by connect function. For example, after it return the connection will be successful. Now at the end we closes our main function and we export the main function from this file to making it available to be imported and used by other file in our node.js application. So in our index.js file, for the server is listening at port 3000, we must ensure that our database connection is successful. So for this we must call main first. So basically main goes to database connection, then here it calls the main function and main function connects our primary server with the database. Then we implement our server listening at port 3000. So we use dot, then is also a sync function. To only start the server if the database connection succeeds. Now here put our app.listen. After that we have to handle catch. If some error occur, then we have to handle it. So here dot catch console.log now let's check npm start. For nodemon is start, and first it will connect our MongoDB, our primary server, to MongoDB Atlas. So basically this error occurred because my internet is not stable. So now our server is listening at port number 3000 perfectly. So after that we have to create our model schema. So here main basically executes the database connection function that was imported. The function returns a promise, and then then it chained to the main promise and executes only if the database connection is successful. The function is marked as async. True, it's not strictly necessary here since there are no await calls inside the specific block. Here app.listen starts the express web server. Catch, it is changed with main. It is also chained with main promise and execute only if the database connection fails. So if main function is passed successfully, connection is stabilized, then .then function is called, and if the main function fails, so connection did not stabilize, then .then function is called. So for user model, we have to create a new folder inside source, which is model. Inside model, and inside model have to create the model.js. So here we have to first require Mongoose, where we import schema from Mongoose. So const as a user schema, we have to make a new schema. It on and inside new schema we have name, email ID, password, role, premium, problem solved, or avatar for profile picture. So let's create one by one. So we have name where type is string, required true. So name must be filled in the form. Its minimum length is 2 and its maximum length is 15. Let's we will do it 25. So now next is our email ID. So type of email ID is string, required true. So email ID must be filled, unique true. So email ID must be unique, trim true. So all the extra spaces are trimmed, lowercase true. So all of the uppercase or lowercase character must be converted into lowercase, and immutable true. It cannot be changed. First we import the Mongoose library and destructures the schema class. Enabling the creation of data structure blueprint. So in email ID, extra white spaces are trimmed, all the characters are converted into lowercase, and once document is created, then email ID cannot be changed, must be immutable. The next is our password. So password type is string, required true, minimum length is 8. So next is user role, which is user or admin. Basically role is user or admin. Role, its type is string. We take enum where first value is user, second is admin. By default it will be a user. Then after role have premium feature. Its type is boolean and default value is false. So by default there are no premium treatment for any user. Next is problem solved by user, and its type is also string inside an array. Then next is problem solve. Basically is array of a string, and it is used to store multiple references. For example, problem ID, problem that the user has completed. Next is avatar or profile picture. So its field is as an embedded document or subdocument. So this structure is ideal for storing image metadata, typically used when hosting image on a third-party service like Cloudinary. So we import our all of the user image as avatar on Cloudinary. It includes two required string fields. First is public ID. It is the identifier on the hosting service, and second is URL, the direct link to the image. So public ID type is required true, and for URL type is string, required true. Any user who is going to sign up or register, then it must have to give his or her profile picture. Then next is forget password token, and forget password expire date. So it is used when the user is forget their password and wants to reset it. Now at the end we have include timestamp. So it will include created and at and updated at in our database. So it is time stamp, not time stamp. Make sure you apply as time stamp. At the end, we create const user, where we create user model by taking all of the requirements in the user schema, and then we'll export the user. So const user mongoose.model user schema, it basically compiles the schema into a model where Mongoose creates a model named as user that will manage documents in the MongoDB collection named users. So now exports the user model, allowing other parts of the application like controllers to perform database operation like find, create, update, etc. on the user data.